Hi, this is Simo from Pacific Horizons Realty Group. Just following up on your interest in apartments. Do you have a quick minute to chat?
Yeah, hi Simo. Yeah, I do.
Great, thanks for taking the time. Are you still actively looking for an apartment or just exploring options right now?
Yeah, I'm looking for apartment in Toronto area. So can you help me with that?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to help you find an apartment in Toronto. Can you share your budget range for the apartment? That way, I
Yeah.
can recommend options that fit what you're looking for.
Yep. So my budget is around 700k to 900k, right? And I need a minimum of 2 bedroom, I would say.
Perfect, thank you for sharing that. Just to confirm, you're looking to buy an apartment in Toronto with a budget between $700,000 and $900,000, and you need at least 2 bedrooms. Is that correct?
Yep.
Also, have you been pre-approved for a mortgage yet, or are you still exploring your options?
I am pre-approved.
Great, that's great to hear. And just to make sure I have your timeline right, are you hoping to make a move within the next 6 months, or is your timeline a bit more flexible?
Yeah, as soon as possible, probably within the next 3 months, or as soon as possible.
Thanks for sharing your details. Based on your requirements, here are a few apartments in Toronto that might interest you. 1, 626 Shop Street, $799,900, 4 bedrooms, 2.
Yeah, I like the first one, which you said right now.
Great choice. I'll make a note that you're interested in 626 Shaw Street. Just to confirm, is there anything else you'd like to share about your preferences or any must-haves for your new apartment?
No, not really.
Awesome. I'll send you a message with our calendar booking link so you can pick a time that works for you. Is there anything else I can help with?
No, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks.
So some benefits of this system can be it decreases the time to follow up on the leads, right? As soon as they click the form, we reach out to them. It increases the number of leads, number of qualified leads that are booked in our calendars, and it also increases the customer satisfaction score at the end of the day, and all of this with reduction of a manual time. So next we will go to our automations and a prompt, and all the automations and all the prompts and all the resources that I mentioned in this video will be in my resource hub, link in the description, and get access to that, and you can play around with it, or use it in your own business or however you want. So we'll be covering the automations now, and let's start with the Facebook ads so slow. So one thing to keep in mind for a Facebook flow is when we connect a webhook to a meta ads, the meta ads setup I will cover after this automations, so stick around to that. And for connecting a webhook to a meta ads, we need 2 endpoints, right? We need first of all post, which is the main endpoint, which gets our data from the form, right? And we need a get endpoint. What is the get endpoint for? Get endpoint is for connecting our webhook to our basically Facebook ads, right? So if I show you that quickly, this webhook which you see, if I go to page, this when we add a webhook, it calls a get endpoint. So for that we need this particular get endpoint, and this is only once it is connected, we don't need it. So make sure to have it, otherwise we won't this won't work. So after that comes a post endpoint. Post is basically for again the main flow, right? So once when we, as you saw on the demo, when we submitted the form, it came over here and we got this data. So one difference from the Google ads and Facebook ads is that in Facebook ads data, we don't get all the data while on submission. We get the IDs such as leads and ID, page ID, form ID, those IDs. We need to call a separate API endpoint to get those data, right? The form values and data. How we get that? We get that in the next node, the HTTP request which you see. So what this does is, this is a get endpoint. So make sure this is get, and what this is doing is we get our lead gen ID from our previous webhook post, and using those lead gen ID, we get all the particular data that you saw on the form, such as what type of apartment, name, etc., etc. So this is for that, and you also need your access token, so make sure to get the access token. And how do you get that? I will show you in the next section after this automation, so stick around to that. After this, once we get all our form data, right, what happens is I'm just normalizing. Basically, I'm just formatting some datas and some fields, right, to make it usable for the AI agent, to make it usable for us AI agent, to make it readable, basically. So this is a code node and JavaScript. What I'm basically doing is you're using regex and replacing some lowercase values, and I'm returning the normalized data over here, right? So just short normalization, some replacing of lowercase, some replacing of data, and after that we feed that to our AI agent, right? So this particular AI agent, what system prompt you are given? The system prompt is you will be given an array of JSON data, right, from a previous field normalization node, right? You need to check if the phone number is provided in the data or not, right? Phone number is the most important, right? You need to output true or false, and phone number, name, email, and property type. Property type must be present. So from all those data, we need the AI agent to output if the phone number is given. We need to output the phone number itself if it's given, name, email, and property type, right? So again, this is for real estate only. This might change for your case. So yeah, this is the system prompt, and the user message is basically normalized data, right? So yeah, after that so we connected to OpenAI chat model, and basically what this structured output parser does is whatever this AI agent outputs, it will be always in this format, so always, regardless. So it basically structures the output. It gives us expected output, that we can expect this kind of output every time, so there's no error, right? So make sure to have this in most of the AI agents, so it really makes the output expected, and most of the time there's no hallucination. So yeah, use this whenever necessary. After that, basically this is not this can change from use case to use case. So basically what this is for, we append the user data in a Google sheet. So name, email, phone number, property type, and lead data, right? All the data, such as whatever the lead data is, we are just outputting in a JSON format, with just dumping it in one particular field in Google sheet. So this is for the client, so for the use case. And so this attempt count you can ignore for now. What this basically, this is part of my build for one of my clients. So this is a small part in the whole build. So what the attempt count, what this is used for is the missed call. So let's say we reach out to a client and he doesn't pick up, so it will append over here 1 plus 1 plus 1 till 3 counts, and it will reach out to them in a in every, let's say, that is customizable every day or so. And once it reaches, let's say, 3 calls, it will end and it will update the status, right? So this is for that. But for a particular demo and this video, we don't need that, right? So I will showcase that in one of my next videos or so, how to make like a missed call tracker, right? So this is for that. And yep, okay. So after that, what we are doing is we are checking again. This is very important. We are checking if the phone number exists or not, right? So if there's no phone number, we go in this particular flow. If there is phone number, we go on this flow, right? So basically what we're checking is if there is no phone number, right? So if it's true, that means there is no phone number, and we're adding it to something called the invalid lead. So we just update it and we add it as status as invalid or missing field. So we can't contact this lead, it's invalid. And if we have the email, we might contact the lead through that way, right? But if it has a phone number, there comes the main part. This is the main Retell AI call, right? So over here we are sending stuff such as from the phone number to our agent ID, our property type, and any other dynamic variable, right? So we are sending these data, and this is our API, a post API. Basically what this does is it creates a phone call using this particular number and this agent, and there comes phone part which is on the demo. So this is our Facebook ads flow, and next is our property fetches. This is pretty easy. This is something, this API is called XSO API, right? It basically gives us the Zillow API, right? So this is the property fetcher. So this works in accordance with the voice agent, right? It calls this particular flow. So over here what the data, it's let me show you the final data. It sends these arguments, so location, minimum, maximum price, number of bedroom, status, if it's what type of property type it is, right? So after that we call the API and we check if there is a response, like if there is a property available with that particular parameters. If there's nothing available, we just respond back. But if there are property available, we just want to return the first 5 properties in the first page, right? Because it's a voice call, we don't want to dump the user with like 20 properties or so. That's why 5 properties. So over here we are just this particular code knows it's for just returning the first 5 properties and some other data which we might need to format. This code node does that, and we aggregate it and we return it. So this is a pretty straightforward automation. So yeah, next we will be covering meta ad setup, after that prompt. So okay, so before we move on to the meta ads flow, if you're facing this exact problem in your business about not being able to reach out to the leads fast enough when they submit an ad, and you want this exact system built for you, do reach out to me and book a call with me using the link in the description below, and we can discuss further how we can customize it for your business. Okay, so next is the meta ads setup. So right now we'll be covering setup for the meta ads. So I'll cover this quickly. So just skim through it. So what basically the thing we need to do is we need to make a Facebook page first of all, right? So your normal Facebook page. Through that page we will link a lead ads form. So that's where the whole thing main chunk happens. So I've already created my Facebook page. So do create a Facebook page. It's just a simple page. So create that. After that we will come to this link, business.facebook.com. over here you will see all tools, and after coming to all tools you will see something called instant forms, right? So over here you will see your main forms and you will be able to create your lead ads form over here. So let me create one and show it to you how this works. So let's go with new form. So over here you will see what kind of form type, delivery, all your basically this will be ad rare, so you need to be careful what to output, right? So intro, headline, everything, right? You need to output everything. And over here call to action, what kind of call to action will this be, right? So after you make your ad, right, you will come to something called developer.facebook.com. This is where the whole chunk of the whole webhook setup will happen over here. So watch this carefully so you don't miss a step. So one thing to keep in mind is always remember this won't work unless your app mode is in live, right? And your n8n workflow also is in live. So it won't work if it's in development. So I made this mistake a lot of times, and it wasted my couple of days. So make sure this is in live before you test it, otherwise this won't work, right? So come over here, come to Facebook, come to webhooks and select product as page, right? Because lead ads form is a page, so we will link to that, right, using a webhook. So where the webhook comes in is select page and add your webhook URL. So where this webhook URL comes from is this one. Add the production URL and make sure to add both post method and get method, right? So this is really important, otherwise this won't work. Both post and get. So yeah, add that, and verify token you add as this one path, this will work. So add that, and after that click on verify save. You'll click on verify save, and you'll get your response in this particular respond webhook to the get one. And yeah, over here you need to scroll down and make sure this is enabled, right? This lead gen which you see, this is enabled, and subscribe, otherwise this won't work, right? So make sure this is enabled, and any other use case which you might have, enable those also, but for this particular use case enable lead gen. Okay, so this is a main chunk of our setup. After that, come to marketing API. Right, so over here you need to again make sure your ads API access level is in development and it's live. Again, if it's not live, it won't work. And yeah, this is where whole thing will happen. Basically the flow will be like, once we submit, and this Facebook has developed a form for testing, right? So once you make a form, you come over here, you select your page, right, and you click a form. You can preview a form, right, and create lead or delete lead. As soon as you create lead and your webhook is connected, right, make sure webhook is connected. You can see over here, and once you click on create lead or you submit your form, it will trigger your post workflow. So this is where the whole thing will happen, right? So this was our Meta's setup. It's a bit complicated than the Google Ads setup, but if you follow each and every step, it works smoothly. So yeah, and next one will be a prompt. So I'll be covering the prompt. So if you have any questions regarding the setup, how this step works, how that step works, make sure to leave in the comments. I make sure to answer your questions. And yeah, next up is the prompt. So now we'll be covering a prompt, and this is the same prompt that was in our Google Ads setup, right? So this is the same prompt, same voice agent. So I'll just skim over this quickly because again, same prompt. And this is real estate agent, outbound agent. So what it will basically do is it will reach out to the clients that engage us in forms, ads, and it will reach out to them, qualify them, and give them some property recommendations. So that's where our property recommender comes in, right? So it does all that. It saves a property type and uses that for further workflows, right? So yeah, let's cover this quickly. So for each and every one of my prompts, if you see my older videos, right, you will see the base of the prompt, the main template is the same. So this is what I follow in each of my prompt and my client builds also. So make sure to follow these. And this is the context basically can be our company, any details, any context on the what kind of situation this is, right? So this is the persona of the AI voice agent, what kind of role, what is the objective of this particular voice agent, what kind of skills it has, and tone. So role is basically, this is the outbound real estate agent, and the objective is to re-engage leads, qualify the needs, and book appointments. And we give a tone as friendly, professional, and confident, right? And we have given it some context of the lead. So this lead that you will call might be from Google Ads, Facebook Ads, or a website form submission. Below is the property type. Use it in the conversation as context, right? So this is really important to create a smooth conversation with the lead. So we don't ask the lead what kind of property that you are interested in. The lead should expect you to know that, because he submitted that, right? So make sure to add this. And this property type comes from, again, as you remember, it comes from this one, property type. We are sending dynamic variables, right? So this is where this comes in. And specifics can be, you may ask only one question at a time and wait for the response before you ask a question, right? You don't want to confuse the user with like 10 different questions, right? And these are some qualification criteria. Again, this will change according to you. So what I've given qualification criteria is a timeline, if the lead wants to move or sell within 6 months, and if they're selling, they're pre-approved, and budget aligns, and they are clearly interested, right? So this is a qualification criteria. And based on the qualification criteria, further workflows might or might not happen. This is according to you, but this is a qualification criteria. And make sure to have this further up in the prompt, because the AI usually remembers that, right? So these are some rules for the AI voice agent. Again, greet and clearly introduce, use the lead's name if it's available, qualify the lead based on the preferences, right? So, and property type, location, budget, timeline, and pre-approval status. So as you saw in the demo, the voice agent asked us that questions to qualify us, right? And confirm the data back to them before moving forward. Handle objections. So this objections can be, you can even attach a script, right? Or you can add a knowledge base, how your sales agent handle your particular leads. So this voice agent can be exactly customized to your business by attaching those particular sales script or any kind of script that you want. You can also do that over here. And never break character, and log relevant information for SMS follow-up. So, and if the lead skips a question, you may ask it again at a later point of time, right? So these are some steps to follow. So these steps are, again, you saw in the demo. Basically, we will greet the lead, we will confirm the interest, right? For what kind of property, even though we will say, are you looking for apartment, or it can even say that let me confirm, are you looking for apartment, right? So just confirm the interest, qualify the leads based on these data, right? And based on the qualification, different automation, different systems can trigger. So, and fetch properties if they're qualified according to the requirement. So where this comes in is this property fetcher. We send in all the details such as location, minimum, maximum price, bedroom, all the details to the property fetcher, and this particular workflow triggers, right? And after that, we handle the objections and we close the call, right? So this particular, if you saw this update lead, so what, again, this is not particularly relevant for this demo, but again, this is for my client build. So what, I'll just explain this to you quickly. So what this does is, after a call, we will send the lead SMS, right, for the booking link and any other details such as what kind of property type, and we will also update the CRM, right? So this is where this whole update lead comes in. Again, not relevant for this particular demo and for this video, but as you can see, the system is easily expandable to whatever limit that you want. So yeah. And after all those, we also, this is really important, I see this missed in many many different builds that I see, do mention all the functions that you have, right? So, and also mention what kind of parameters they require. Also mention example usage, right? So this ensures that the lead, not the lead, the AI never messes any parameters, any doesn't make any hallucinations, right? So always add this particular function if you have a function, right? So yeah, so this was the prompt, and the whole flow, as you saw, it works really smoothly in our demo. So this is the prompt, this is automations for property fetching, and this is a main trigger prompt for Facebook ads. Comes over here, normalizes it, appends it in a CRM. In this case, it can be a Google Sheet. Check if it has a phone number or not. If it has, it calls the Retell AI API, and using that API, it calls us. So yeah. So if you like this video, do leave me suggestions of what kind of builds that you want to see next, and also heads up, I will be covering go high level next. So basically, I am working on some Go high level automations for my clients, so I will cover all the basics of Go high level, more advanced automations coming up soon. So just a heads up that you might want to stick around if you are interested in Go high level, right? And if you have any suggestions, do leave them in the comment section, and thank you for watching.